I'm Greg Mack, here with the latest edition of Signal Boost from the APS Office of Government Affairs. An omnibus appropriations bill that funds the government for the rest of fiscal year 2018 was finally passed by Congress and the White House. This is good because the most recent continuing resolution ran out on March 23rd. If you're keeping track, there were 3 of those short-term fixes for fiscal year 2018 before this omnibus bill. And what's an omnibus? In the usual budget process, there are 12 separate appropriations bills that need to be passed. This includes the Commerce, Justice, and Science Appropriations Bill that involves NSF and NIST, and the Energy and Water one that features DOE. An omnibus lumps all 12 together into one bill, simplifying the details and the voting process. So, how did the science agencies and education fare in the bill? Take a look. Funding for the science agencies and Title IIA of the Every Student Succeeds Act were active advocacy issues for APS members. Thank you all for being a voice for physics. What's next? Well, it's time for Congress to talk about fiscal year 2019. And as I mentioned in the last Signal Boost, discussions are already happening. The White House is again proposing huge cuts to NIST and Title IIA of the Every Student Succeeds Act, while proposing to keep NSF and the DOE Office of Science at about the same levels as 2017. APS will continue to advocate for strong budgets for these agencies and programs, and we still need your help as constituents to speak out. You can go to the APS Advocacy dashboard now and send an email to your members of Congress doing just that. If social media is easier, you can send the draft tweet we provide or even call congressional offices using the phone script we have there. Together we can help to make sure that science and science education receive robust funding in the fiscal year 2019 budget. What else has been going on in APS advocacy? Well, at the APS March meeting in Los Angeles, 6 students presented their research to a staff member of U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein's office during the undergraduate poster session. 5 of these students were associated with California universities, while the 6th spent last summer working on Capitol Hill. The congressional staff member was excited to hear from these students and commented how they helped humanize physics and federal research funding by sharing their stories. The students did an excellent job explaining how they'd benefited from federal funds in their research and education, along with communicating their scientific work. The APS Office of Government Affairs will be planning to offer a similar opportunity for students from Ohio to present to an Ohio member of Congress or associated staff member at the APS April meeting in Columbus. Stay tuned for more news about physics policy and advocacy in the April edition of Signal Boost.